Hi, Purpose Partner. Welcome to another episode of Rise to Your Purpose, a personal and spiritual development podcast for female entrepreneurs with a mission. We are your hosts, Brandie and Natalie.
We are founders of Victorious Entrepreneurs Rising, where we guide women to build profitable businesses online through diversifying your income, using kingdom principles in marketing, and operating in a spirit of rest so that you can create kingdom impact.
After this episode, be sure to join our Purpose Partner Facebook community and get your copy of our Rise to Your Purpose devotional so we can continue to serve you as we partner together in our faith and business. Let's dive into today's episode. Hey friends and Purpose Partners, welcome back to another episode of Rise Your Purpose. I'm Brandie Thomas, and today we're going to talk about motherhood and business, and sometimes the tension that comes between these two priorities. If you're not a mother, then I encourage you to continue to listen because there's probably multiple priorities in your life that will cause tension or you've experienced tension between them. So even if motherhood is not the relevant topic to you, the underlying principles I'm going to talk about will still be valuable. So I hope this message encourages each of you listening today, and let's dive in. Hey friends and Purpose Partners, welcome back. So today I want to talk to you about motherhood and business and the tension that can sometimes lie between these two priorities. I know for me as a mother, I have a 4-year-old son. This has been a intricate dance, a balancing of roles, my dreams and my responsibilities. And so I just wanted to take a moment and just share a little bit about the beautiful synergy that I've been able to discover between motherhood and business. Motherhood it has just taught me so much, and especially in my relationship with God, because God is an amazing father, an amazing parent, and I feel like a lot of times when I'm parenting and saying things, he'll be like, "That's what I'm saying to you, honey. Like this is relevant to you right now." And so it's been really cool to see that relationship shift a little bit with how I view God and just how he speaks to me. And he definitely shows up a lot when I am saying things to Elijah or disciplining him or loving him or comforting him. And it's been really cool to kind of see that's symbolism, or just how, God will sometimes be like, yeah, I'm comforting you right now. I'm holding you right now. Or, I'm disciplining you right now because this is going to hurt you and I'm trying to protect you. So it's been really cool to have that part of motherhood and my faith come into play. Motherhood has also just really taught me like patience and empathy and resilience. And I have definitely found myself maturing as I step in deeper into motherhood, and it has changed the way I just nurture and the way that I build my business. Every day I feel like there is a juggle between schedules and taking care of myself and nurturing myself and my growth and my family, and navigating the challenges both at home and in my business. I do have a privilege and blessing of being able to work from home, and I'm able to build my schedule around my family and my core values. And this has been something I've intentionally been building towards pretty much my entire career. So I do want to point out, if you are a younger listener in your career and you want to have the ability to stay home when you have children, but you're also called to the marketplace, start making strategic decisions now to align you with that priority and that core value when the opportunity for you comes to be a mother. Or if you're a young mother now and you're still working full time, again, start making strategic decisions that will set you up to be able to leave that job. I worked in corporate for 12 years while simultaneously building up my network marketing, affiliate marketing, and coaching businesses on the side. I pretty much did that for about, I think, I think for maybe 5 to 7 years. I'd have to go back and be like, when did I actually start? But I did leave my full time corporate job back in January of 2022, and we adopted Elijah in 2020. And I was able to actually work from home with him because of COVID happening later that year in 2020. And so I kind of, once they started wanting us to come back into the office, I was like, yeah, I'm not coming back. So my husband and I, we made the decision that it was time for me to leave. Thankfully, like finally, this was an answered prayer, and my husband had just never been at peace with it. So I wanted to honor him and also just continue to provide for my family financially. So if for whatever reason there were just things that kept coming up that it wasn't the right time until it was. And since leaving, I've made strategic decisions along the way to ensure that I can maintain this lifestyle, but it also has significantly shifted how I prioritize my day and my life and my business. And it's really caused me to take a look at things that are in alignment with this season and the assignment I'm in, and things that are no longer serving me in my business. And so that's kind of what I want to talk to you about, is just like, how do you know when it's time to, okay, be present and make decisions that align with your core values? And what does that look like? Does it look like leaning in, or does it look like scaling back? And so I want to encourage you just to be present with yourself and with the desires that God has placed on your heart, and continue to walk in partnership with Jesus throughout this journey, because it is going to be a journey. It is going to be full of different seasons, and there are going to be seasons where you can lean in your business and scale up, and there's going to be seasons where you need to lean into other areas of your life and scale back in your business. And so being in tune with Jesus and God and where they have you in the current season you're in is going to just make your life so much easier and have so much more joy in it, versus operating in this place of tension and strife and discontentment. So, what I've learned in building harmony, I guess if you want to say, between motherhood and business, is that it is possible. And it's more possible when you actually fully align with both the season that God has you in and the priorities and the assignment in that season. So this is going to entail embracing your season and the strengths in that season, so that you both flourish and bear good fruit. And it comes down to creating spaces that are going to honor your professional ambitions and your role as a mother, or whatever other priority you're trying to find synergy with, so that you can have success in both areas and continue to be a healthy example for your next generation or those that you have a sphere of influence with. So for me, what that has looked like in the past was, okay, when Elijah was younger, he was motherhood was almost easier, right? Like, you're tired, right? You may have sleep deprivation, but you also have a little bit more space to do things. And I say that with a grain of salt, because it really just depends on the personality of your child or your children. I only have one child, so I can't really speak to having multiple children. And so again, address like what season of life you're in, what are the roles and responsibilities that you have currently. But I know for me, when Elijah was younger, and it was really more about just keeping him alive, right? Just fed and loved, and really I could just hold him, I could carry him, I could do more things around the house, I could do more things on my business. He was easier to kind of take with me into my business than he is now as an active 4-year-old boy. And so my business, in maybe his first 2 years of life, I could lean more into that business. I could focus more on scaling. I could focus more on doing things on social media and had more coaching clients. And so being aware of like, okay, where are you at in your season as a mother? And what are the responsibilities that you have? And what can you do in your business in a healthy way? And yes, I know there's going to be times where it's going to be uncomfortable and you're going to have to do things that maybe stretch you a little bit. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, where are you at in your life? What is actually causing you suffering because you're trying to do something that is actually not serving you versus what is bearing good fruit and allowing you to have healthy relationships with every one of your core values and priorities. So I hope that makes sense. So earlier in my business and in Elijah's life, I could do more. I could be more present without sacrificing care for Elijah. Now, fast forward to where he's at as a 4-year-old. I actually have to parent him, right? Like, I have to be present. He wants my attention. He wants my eye contact. He wants me to listen to him. He wants to be heard. He needs to be disciplined. He needs to be taught different things. I'm like, oh yeah, I have to teach him how to behave in this scenario. Oh yeah, I have to teach him how to say these words. Oh yeah, I have to teach him how to critical think and make decisions in different scenarios. So it's a lot more hands on from a parenting perspective the older he gets than it was when he was just a baby. I could strap him to my body, make sure he was fed and his diaper was changed, and I could kind of have a little bit more control about my life. Versus now, I feel like sometimes I say this, I joke about this, but it's kind of true. It's like it's Elijah's world and I just live in it. And so being a stay-at-home mom, and he is in pre-K 3 mornings a week, which is helpful. And that's how I've been able to build my life and business in synergy because I've created space where I can focus on my business and know he's taken care of and being poured into, and he's getting the growth that he needs while also simultaneously allowing me to be present in my business and show up and do the things that I need to do to keep my business flourishing. So as I've shifted into this season of life, I've had to look at my priorities in my business and the different income streams I have and the different ways that I'm building those income streams. And so, whereas maybe I was able to be more in the spotlight or maybe do more Facebook Lives or do more workshop style based in my coaching business, now it's pulling back a little bit more from social media and from doing live engagements and doing more things that I can record at 3:58 a.m. as this podcast is being recorded and then publish it whenever it needs to be published, right? So I'm able to kind of build my business around my life and my core value right now of prioritizing Elijah first and my husband first and my family first and God first. So I've had to really look at my business today and be like, okay, where do I need to lean in so that it's still sustainable and it grows? But what are some things that, activities that maybe I've done in the past that really aren't scaling my business, that really aren't serving me right now? And where can I scale back? And it was really hard. So this is where the tension comes in. It was really hard to let some of those things go because I had this expectation or even ego, right? Of like, if I don't do these things, then I'm considered lazy or I'm unproductive or I'm not going to be the leader that everybody wants me to be. And I'm going to let people down if I step back in different areas of some of my income streams. And so I had to really, I wrestled with God in this area of like, God, what does leadership look like? What does building a business for you look like? What does this season look like? And am I in the right season? Am I doing the right activities for the season I'm in? And so these are questions I encourage you to ask yourself as well, because last year I was in the wrong season. I was in a season where I was trying to do all these activities and all these things that weren't right for that season that God had me in. And I joke because if you're a Mean Girl movie fan, there's a quote in there where it says, "Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen." And I felt like I was trying to make fetch happen, and God is like, "Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to be a thing." And He's like, "I have you here. I need you here. I want you to rest. I want you to let me provide for you and do the things, steward the things that I've given you to steward, and stop trying to go over here and make these things work." And so I feel like I kind of have a do-over this year, because I've finally been able to realize I need to ask God, what season am I in right now, and what are those assignments and priorities for this season? And that has, with wrestling with God in those different questions, has really brought me to a very joyful and peaceful place that I am today, because I've been able to, one, just let expectations go, let activities go that are no longer serving me, but also create space for the healing that I need in this season, and the growth and the nurturing that I need and my family needs in this season. And so that tension that was there before is being released, because I'm actually operating correctly in the season I'm in. I'm doing the activities that are in alignment with this season and the current assignment that I have, and I'm seeing good fruit.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We want to take a moment and extend to you a special invite to partner with us in Girl Power Alliance. Inside Girl Power Alliance, we are so focused on helping you step into your kingdom identity and becoming the woman that God designed you to be. That's what the entire membership is built around. Inside of our membership, you have access to over 300 different modules, weekly live coaching calls, ICF certifications, and more that you get to plug into. Plus, you have a rich opportunity to build an income by sharing those things with others. We are a completely digital platform, so you don't have to worry about shipping product or providing things for people. We do all of that for you. You get the fun of just promoting and sharing Christ-centered resources to others. You have access to the opportunity of starting a digital business for less than $500, and your monthly overhead is less than $200 a month. To be a VIP member, it's only $150 a month, and yet the ability to grow in income has no limit to it. We are trying to bring kingdom believers back into the room. We have a vision of seeing more kingdom entrepreneurs in the world and more financially free believers that love Jesus. If you want to be in that room, make sure you connect with us. Join our movement by clicking on the link in the show notes, and we can't wait to welcome you into our family.
So I want to encourage you to ask yourself those questions. What season am I in, God? What is my assignment for this season? What are my priorities? Where do I need to lean in, and where do I need to scale back? And I believe that will help you if you're feeling like you're suffering, or there's tension between your priorities and your business. Then I believe these questions will help you get closer to releasing that tension and getting out of that suffering. If you've been listening to the podcast and you listened to a podcast episode I did with Lene Pisano, I love the quote that she said, where it's like, you're suffering either because you want something that you don't have, or you have something you don't want. And so I found myself in a place of suffering because I was wanting these things that I didn't have. And it turns out that those weren't really things I was supposed to have. And I really shouldn't have been wanting them. I wanted them because I was in comparison with other people. I was in comparison with a previous season of my life. And God's like, this is not for you in this season. You have to let it go. And I was trying to hold on to things. And so it was building that tension and that strife. And it was taking the joy out of the season, taking the peace out of the season that I'm now coming into and experiencing. And that's why I wanted to bring this topic up, because you can have joy and peace and bear good fruit while simultaneously building a business and being a productive mother and wife, or whatever, insert whatever priority you want to have right now. So I just wanted to bring this topic up because as I'm learning and growing in these areas, I want to share what God is revealing to me and hopefully lessen that learning curve for you and where you are in your journey. And so here's what this looks like for me in a tangible way. And I kind of tapped on this earlier, but let me just break it down. So what this looks like for me right now is I am not really showing up on social media as much as I used to. I am not doing the Facebook Lives consistently like I used to, and I'm not doing really any new workshops or a lot of live events that I used to. And that was hard for me to let go because that was like part of my daily method of operation. But it just got to a point where it was like it was causing tension because I couldn't get it in. Then I was feeling guilty about not getting it in. And I was just like, okay, this is not working for me. What can I do that is working for me? And so shifting from serving you on from a Facebook capacity to shifting to my podcast and email marketing. So now you're getting weekly podcasts from me, which are probably more powerful. I'm able to pour more out to you because they're a little bit longer than, doing a story or a post or a Facebook Live. And I can go into more depth on these concepts. And then I'm also able to pour into you through my writing by doing my Friday evening email. So those are a couple shifts that I had to make was, okay, social media isn't really working for me right now because I can't be consistent with it, but where can I be consistent in my business that's still going to bear good fruit, that's still going to serve those that I have a sphere of influence over, that God has, anointed me to serve and pour into. And that looks like podcasting and my email today. And then I had to look at, okay, my income streams. I have clients where I support their operations and their systems. I do coaching. I do affiliate marketing with Kingdom Alliance and scalability. So with my scalability income stream, that looks like my YouTube channel. And when I first started that, I was doing like 4 YouTube videos and like a couple shorts. That quickly was not sustainable. And so now I'm down to, okay, let's do 1 YouTube training a week and 1 short a week. If I can get more in, great. If not, I can at least continue to be consistent in these areas, show up with excellence, and bear good fruit. It may grow more slowly, and that's okay. Then with my Kingdom Alliance income stream, this is where I had to pull back probably the most. And when I first built up this income stream, like I was really hands-on with my team and with coaching and with leading. And so this one was probably the hardest for me to step back from because I didn't want to let people down. And God just kind of had to break me of that because it's not about me anyway. And as long as I can continue to pour in and, do the side conversations, the side coaching with my team, I can help my sister out. We partner with our team trainings that we have weekly and still show up there. I'm still coaching Radiant Leadership Academy and leading in that way. So God had to really break me of what leadership can look like in the different seasons and basically take some of these unrealistic expectations and lies almost that the enemy was putting on me so that I could show up fully where he needs me to and continue to get poured into through the amazing resources inside of the Kingdom Alliance platform for myself and my own personal growth, but continue to have the space to lead through the Radiant Leadership Academy and coaching that, while also helping my team scale and grow where they're at. And so I had to because Kingdom Alliance is more of a hybrid with affiliate marketing and network marketing, I do have a team, and some of my team wants to scale that business, and I'm not running at the same pace. So one of the things that I had to do to lead is to connect them with people and resources that were leading at the pace that they wanted to lead and doing it in the way that they needed to in that season. And so for those that are wanting to run faster and like this be their main income stream, I get to partner them with my sister Natalie. Versus for those maybe who are like, I just want to use this as a resource for me. If I can make some additional money, great. That's kind of more where I can come in and partner with them. So I've had to look at where I'm at in the season, lean in certain areas, and scale back in certain areas. And I can tell you, the more that I've become aware of the season I'm in, the actual assignment that God has me for on in the season, the more joy, the peace I've been able to experience, and the less tension I feel. And so I've been able to really be intentional with how I'm building my schedule, when I'm having my set office hours that I can serve my clients and do my business activities throughout the week while still being there for my family, taking care of the home, and being present with my son and the responsibilities that I have right now as his parent. And also realizing like this is a season and it's a short season. And it's a beautiful season to be in and I don't want to miss it. So I encourage you, mothers or soon to be mothers, or those of you who are just feeling a tension between different priorities in your life right now, I encourage you to really just sit down, have a conversation with God, get real about what season of life that you're in, what are your assignments, and what do you need to focus on to bear fruit and have healthy a healthy lifestyle, have synergy in these different priorities so that you're going to honor God and you're not going to burn yourself out and you're going to create space for the things that you need to prioritize in your life today. So I hope this was encouraging to you. If this blessed you, please leave a review, share with a friend, tag me in a story on Instagram. I would love to hear what really resonated with you, so I can continue to do more episodes like this in the future. All right, well, have a great day, and I will talk to you next time.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We would love to hear from you. So please share your takeaways by tagging @LiveVictorious over on Instagram and leave a review.
This will help us get more visibility and reach more women like you for the kingdom. We appreciate you and are praying for you as you shine your light in the business world and rise to your purpose.